Bertie, congratulations on the series. Tell us a little bit about, what for you stood out as being the most memorable experience shooting this one. It looked like a pretty exciting. I know you get a lot of exciting adventures, but this one may have been up there with some of those.
Yeah, there are a few stand-up moments. I think my favorite adventure, my favorite episode is the first episode, which is the Patagonia Puma episode. And it was my favorite because it was quite a nostalgic mission in its concept, in that we went to film pumas in Patagonia, but rather than just filming pumas as a species, we went to go and film one particular puma, and she's called Pataka. And I met her for the first time when she was a cub 4 years ago. And she was this lovely bundle of fluff, completely reliant on her mother. And so fast forward 4 years, went to go and see how she was doing. And not only has she survived, which is no small feat for a wild puma, their survival rate isn't particularly high, but she is now turned into this amazing, powerful boss mum with two cubs of her own. And it was like seeing an old friend again. Obviously, this is a very one-way relationship. She's a wild animal. She doesn't care about me. But she took us on this amazing emotional roller coaster. We filmed this episode over 51 days, and wherever she went, we followed, up and down the mountains. Some days she, hung out and traveled a couple miles. Some days she left the cubs and went hunting and went 15 miles in a gale up and down the mountains, and we just had to keep up with her. So yeah, it was definitely both a physical and emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, I got to watch that episode, and one of the things that was interesting was how much you identified with her struggle, and you were excited when she got the kill.
Mainly because it just meant she wasn't going to move for a few days, and so we could rest the legs. That was the biggest relief.
But do you find you identify with the animals a bit, and you start to feel what they're experiencing?
I mean, particularly with her, but I'm not normally like really emotionally invested in the characters because you can't be. But in this case, because I had this history with her, it's impossible not to be. So when a big male puma was trying to kill her cubs, and she was she's half the male's body weight, standing in the way, snarling at him, swiping at him. You can't help, as well as concentrating on filming it, go, oh, be careful, Pataka, be careful. Yeah, that's magic.
Yeah. Talk about the use of technology. I mean, you guys are using a lot of different drones and different equipment that's, maybe bringing a entirely new view to a lot of this sort of wildlife journalism. Uh,
Yes, so I mean, drones are huge, obviously, for that, getting that aerial perspective. They allow us to show animal behaviors like never before. In the case of our Antarctica killer whales episode, we went in search of a very unique population of killer whales. There's only 100 of them in existence, and the drone was a critical tool to showing why they're so unique. Because when you follow killer whales with a boat, generally you're just seeing dorsal fins and maybe a bit of a head, bit of a tail every now and again. But with the drone, suddenly you see them, you can see their whole bodies, but also how they're interacting as a pod. And these killer whales have learned to locate seals that are resting out the water on chunks of ice. And after locating them, for any other marine predator, they would be out of reach. But these killer whales have learned that together they can hunt as a pod. They can use their bodies to create a wave to wash the seals off the ice floes and into the water. And the amount of coordination and teamwork and problem solving that, and intelligence that these animals show, the drone is critical for that because it just lays it all out. You can see exactly where they are and what they're doing.
Yeah. Do you feel like you've gotten new insights into animal behavior through this use of technology that maybe you didn't have before that?
Totally. I mean, another example in the case of our forest elephants episode, it's called Elephant Quest, and we went to the Central African Republic. And forest elephants, as their name suggests, live in the forest. They are different to savanna elephants, which I think people are more familiar with, the elephants that live out in the open plains alongside lions. yeah, these forest elephants are very, very elusive, and they really don't like people. So as well as living off the forest floor to keep our scent off the forest floor, we lived in a tree house. We also would use special technology to film them at night, because a lot of them are very active at night. Under the cover of darkness, they're a lot more confident. Now it's pitch black at night, obviously, so we were using a military grade thermal imaging camera. So that basically, you point it at pitch black, and it shows you heat to a very high detail. So, you could see every detail of you or me or an elephant. And one of the most surprising things was when we pointed it at these elephants, you could see the pattern of blood vessels in their ears, because obviously those blood vessels are hotter than the surrounding skin because they're full of warm blood. And the camera can pick that up. And so you could see this amazing, it almost looked like like a river delta where the river spreads out. It looked like that in their ear. And that's how these elephants dump heat. They shunt the warm blood to their ears and then flap their ears to lose the heat. And so, yeah, using this technology to see that was really mind-blowing.
So finally, was there a takeaway from the season, something that you learned that you didn't expect, or just kind of an overall message that you got from the work you did for it?
I mean, I came away a lot more hopeful than I thought. In that, a big part of this series is, as well as showing amazing animal behavior and our struggles to keep up with those animals, we also show the challenges that the natural world is facing in each of these places, because it's really important to provide that context and show that we humans are not treating the natural world very well. But the thing that I'm really proud of with this series is that in each episode we met some amazing heroes, these people that are doing their bit to turn around our relationship with the natural world, and being able to shine a light on them as well as the animals was awesome, and celebrate their conservation successes. That was my big take home was coming away, time and time again we saw that there is hope for the natural world, both for wildlife and for us people.
Well, that's a great note to end on. Bertie, congratulations on the series, and we hope everyone gets a chance to see it.
Thanks for watching the You Interview channel. With over 3,000 original celebrity videos, we have one of the largest collections of celebrity interviews anywhere. So remember to like and comment on our videos and subscribe to the channel. If you want to get more involved, you can become a member of the channel. Membership has its perks. You can see exclusive celebrity videos and get the opportunity to ask our celebrity guests questions. We can't wait to hear from you.